Hello guys, welcome to another exciting video today. I ended up doing all matte makeup look. I thought I'm going to add some sparkle, but I didn't. At the end of the day, I do love how everything turned out. Now, before we continue, it might be a little bit confusing. How did I get these color story with the palettes that I'm going to mention? And the simple answer is that I mixed them. So today I was working with these four Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, but I also incorporated one eyeshadow palette and I think, yeah, just one eyeshadow from it. I haven't touched this eyeshadow palette in a while now. This is Makeup by Aalina and Be Perfect makeup palette, and I did use this jasmine shade right here. Now, as I'm going to show you this tutorial, you'll see that I mixed certain eyeshadows, but also of course you can go throughout any makeup that you have and just apply this lavender shade. But the thing is, as I didn't find the shade between any of my eyeshadow palettes, I combined my own, mixing these eyeshadows. So basically I took this first shade. I used my dream palette shade Instinct, which is cream to powder, and I took that as my base. These two blue will take an overcast eyeshadows from Mini Xenon palette, which are blue, and a lot of the white, off-white I would say, which is shade Contrail from Xenon palette. I use this shade everywhere today on my eyes, like literally everywhere. And mixing these, I've got my perfect lavender shade and deeper lavender shade when I applied less white. So basically, I just mix them together in my little container to get my lavender shade, and that's it. I did want to play with the newer releases, and I just wanted to do this kind of a pastel color story. Also for everything else when it comes to eyes, just so that I don't forget, because that is not something I filmed. When I applied my mascara, I went for my lower lash line with the Pat McGrath Dark Scar mascara from the Bijou collection. And I'm pretty enjoying these mascaras actually. Like, the wand is pretty bulky and I don't like it. So I have to, like, in order to get my lashes the way I want them, I need to apply them with, so I'm having a million of products in here. Use a really small brush for that. Anyways, this is today's look, and now I will show you how I achieved this one, combining 5 palettes to achieve this. Let's go. First of all, as usual, we are going to start off with our base, and for that I'm gonna be using Inglots MC Gel Eyeliner number 76 and P. Louise base number 2. Tiniest amount of the AMC, just because this one is really pigmented and gets dry and it's not supposed to be used as a base. So just to lighten up a little bit the base that I have, that's what I did. Because right here I do not have my lighter shade of a P. Louise base. Anyways, we're gonna start off by kind of an easier step at the moment. But the thing is, I wanted to create kind of my perfect lavender shade. So what I've done, I just took 4 of Natasha Denona's eyeshadows and mixed them together to get my lavender shade. So for that, I used, like, obviously you don't have to do this. You can just pick any lavender eyeshadow that you have. But I mixed this cream to powder from Natasha Denona, which is Instinct, from Mini Triochrome palette. We'll take an overcast and Contrail shade, a big amount of Contrail shade from the Xenon palette, and I've got this. Let me show you. So I pressed everything and got this color. I don't know why it looks like this. It's a bit different than on my base, but of course I do have lighter base in here, so it looks different. Before I start with this color, to have a gradient, a bit lighter shade and then the shade that I'm gonna use, I'm using this Contrail shade from Xenon palette, bigger blending brush, and now let me just make sure I don't have any creasing. Shadow where it has been applied, I'm always thinking to gradually add a bit light and depth. So I'm going to add a little bit of a light in here. I know it's white, but once the second shade gets it, it'll look nice. And this is not like pure white shade. This is kind of an off-white, but it works really great for today's look. And also, while I'm being at this stage of creating, I can apply Contrail shade even right here, because I do know that later I will add the same darker shade and it will apply beautifully with it. Now see how much more pigmented here it is, but it doesn't matter because I will blend everything later. Grabbing my custom-made shade that I've created and kind of creating cut crease, how I think of when doing this stuff. And now this shade will blend with the lighter shade that we have in here. It's going to look nice. I feel like this is not enough. I am going once again. And also I will drag this color right underneath my eyebrow as well. You know, sometimes I know there are so many products out there. Obviously, I have what I have within my makeup collection, and sometimes I wanted to create something specific, so I will have to mix a lot of the colors, as you may know already. But to make something custom like this, it's really exciting because that way I'm not limited to whatever I'm having in my eyeshadow palette. A lot of the time I do review one eyeshadow palette, but so many times I'm thinking, oh, I wish I have this or that, like lighter shade or a different finish or something, you know. Sometimes I get really surprised in a good way what I accomplish within certain palettes. But honestly, for the most cases, I'm always thinking, I wish I have something, I wish I have more or different. Now if you want to blend even a little bit more, taking brush that I already used, and just one recommendation, I just realized this is, I think, yeah, this is Essence Eye Blender Blush brush. And for the price that it is, like, I do use her as a, not my main blending brush, but to help to do something specific on the eyes. And for the price that is, you guys, it's definitely worth it. Okay, now what I've done as well, I mix separately, same shades, but I just applied less of a white color. That means that I have my deeper shade of this version, and I'm going to apply this one as well, just a tiny bit, just to add a little bit depth. Again, same shades, just adding a little bit less white within the mixture. And we'll take my time and blend it. I did apply this one really low and not a lot of the amount of it. Now I'm gonna take Vaseline and cut the crease and clean everything. Now once everything is clean, I will go again with my base, and I will also cover everything that has been cleaned. So yeah, once it looks like this, I will go and create another line with the same color. First, I will reapply a little bit of the concealer shade that I may have lost while reapplying my base. The guideline, I will use the first mixture that I've used here as well. I will start somewhere like so with a smaller brush, and then I will start to blend everything. I will take small blending brush and I will slowly start to blend everything. I know it's a smaller area to work with, but it is going to give a really interesting detail. I will once again go and add concealer shade. It will mix beautifully with the shade that I already have in here. Also going a little bit with a darker mixture as well underneath everything, and I will just blend this into everything. Now to separate these two, I'm adding concealer shade again. See that? This is why I am so grateful to have light shade in a palette. Whenever I'm doing looks like this, it helps a lot. And also what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take Vaseline once again and just make this edge sharp. The next step is a little bit tricky. I will apply liner, and I am using Ingles 77 eyeliner. And basically what I'm gonna do, I will connect from here to here to have a kind of a perfect line that is going to match the other portion of this look. It is super sharp. So the way I start my liner is somewhere from the middle of my eye, and then kind of lift everything, but I need to make sure that no matter what I'm doing is going to connect here. One other thing, I will use a smaller brush and I will drag anything that I have from my liner, but I need to make sure that it meets this line somewhere here. So I do need a lifted liner. This one is a bit too low for this. Later I can clean this, so I am not too worried about that at the moment. And as I'm dragging this line, I will connect here. Kind of disappears, you know, from this thick line to being really thin. And now we'll take Vaseline and clean right here. And later I can always use my concealer just to clean even more. Now it is time to reapply my base again, and I did add up a little bit more of a AMC liner in my Pillows base here because I want this part to be really bright. Make sure everything is covered. Now one palette I haven't used in a while is this Be Perfect Rain palette, makeup by Aalina, and we do have kind of really bright, really pastel colors in here. This one is really interesting as well. So I'm gonna go in with a small brush with this Jasmine shade, super vibrant, following my lash line, just outer portion, you guys. But the reason why I need such a small brush is because of the area I'm working with. Once the shade has been applied like this, I'm gonna go in with mini Trichrom palette with this light blue shade a little bit, and when this one mixes with this one, we are going to get a little bit more like bluish aquamarine kind of a base now. It's beautiful. And I also will add up a little bit of that white just to lighten up, brighten up everything, since I'm working with really bright colors today. So again, contrail shade from Xenon. You'll see throughout the whole tutorial using this shade like everywhere. So this is why I said once again how grateful I am for this shade to have, because you can manipulate so much with it. Now I'm gonna go in with another Natasha Denona. This is Yucca palette and shade Camu Camu. Go in with the Xenon palette with the contrail shade. We'll apply that all over my lid, you guys. But look how pigmented that is. This is what I like about Natasha's eyeshadows. Going in a little bit with the lighter shade right here. Yeah, her mattes are gorgeous. And now the interesting thing happens when you come next to this shade right here. When you blend them, they look so gorgeous. How gorgeous is this transition from these colors? What a beautiful combination, you guys. Let's move on to a lower lash line. I will start with the first shade that I've applied, which was this mixture that I made out of the Natasha Denona's eyeshadows. Gonna start building the color on the outer portion and a little bit dragging that outside. I'm gonna take smaller blending brush and also kind of blend everything. I will go into Xenon palette and go with a little bit of a contrail shade just to make it a little bit lighter. Now for the other part, going in, wait a second, but where's my brush? Smaller brush, Jasmine shade, and really packing that eyeshadow right here. Connecting that with the previous one, but also not closing everything until the beginning, because I will apply contrail in the beginning of my eye. Again, going into Xenon with this lightest blue, a little bit on top of this one. But also what I want to do with this lavender mixture, just go a little bit in my inner portion of the eye, drag the color again. With the same small brush, control shade right here. It will add a light here, it will lighten up this shade as well a little bit, and it will blend beautifully. I also went with a darker lavender mixture and just added up a little bit on this area right here. Now I will apply some lashes and mascara, and I will be right back with you. And so this is it, you guys. So this is as you know, final look for today. I really did enjoy today's tutorial. I know this one wasn't specific in a sense, take this shade, take that shade and just apply them. This is much more of a mixing shades, but as you can see, like how I'm pretty impressed how Natasha's mattes are so like pigmented. The pigments grab onto your skin, but then when you blend them, the pigment's still there. When sometimes eyeshadows can have pigment, when you blend them, it fades. It's not what's happening with this one, and I'm so happy with the pigmentation of her eyeshadows. Definitely one of my favorites. Anyways, this was really fun for me today. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about these types of looks. This is one of the techniques that complements the best my eye shape, and that's the reason why I do love and tend to do these types of looks as well. Anyways, before you leave, make sure to watch this video, and I will see you guys really soon in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.